I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm trying not to laugh.
Okay, he'll be watching.
I wasn't
She was
worried.
kind of like.
There's only two people here.
All right, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Supervisor Moore,
Here.
Councilwoman McNamara.
Here.
Councilman Isilli.
Here.
Councilman Powell.
Present.
All right, thank you, Cindy. We're going to start the meeting today with a presentation regarding an amendment to Chapter 312. And with us is Mark Bragers, Deputy Superintendent of Highways, and Jen Wilmot. Why don't you come on up and join us to the table? Yeah.
Yes.
We got new chairs and everything.
Nice, yeah, that's good. Hey, you're supposed to hold the chair for me.
I just did, but she went that way. She fake left and went right.
You're gonna pay for it later.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you? So
Which one you want to start on first?
you want
what's
to do
this about?
Remsenburg on South Country?
What are we talking about, the 312?
We have the speed limit, speed limit one.
Oh, I thought we weren't
And-
talking about that.
We have a couple actually. We have a couple that were noticed or wanted to be noticed for public hearing, and then you all just, said that you would like a work session first. So there's the speed limit reduction on South Country Road. There's a no parking on Inlet West in Shinnecock Hills.
Mhm.
Is that right? And then I believe that you might have scheduled the one for Corwith, or it's being held in abeyance.
I don't know.
Tom is doing that one.
Yeah, Tom's doing
Tom.
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the
it's-
two are the ones we just said.
Yep. Remsenburg and South Country. So should I begin?
So tell us about it.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
no, I mean,
So-
you had something else too.
Yeah, the Inlet Road,
Inlet
no
Road, yeah.
parking.
Okay.
So obviously with the post office in Remsenburg, the safety issue with the speed going through was the issue. So one of the things they requested was to reduce the speed for safety reasons. And it would just be from 30 miles an hour down to 25 miles an hour. It would help, as much as we could possibly do, but I think it would be a good direction to show people that we're trying to make it safer. And it doesn't really take much to do it.
Did previously we need the state's approval for that? We never did.
Oh, so the way I understand it with the law is if it's more than 5 miles per hour, you have to go through, you need the traffic study done, you need the approvals from the state and all that.
If the reduction
If
is
it's
more
only
than
5,
five?
yeah, more than 5. But since it's only 5, the board can approve it or not approve it.
I mean, are there any other areas in the entire town, except for the villages, that have that 25? I mean, I think
I'm
in
not really sure. I'd have to really
Quad
break it down.
did.
I don't know. I'm sure. I don't know. Do you,
For how
I don't think so.
I just
how
think
far
just the
before and
villages.
how far?
It's
after?
just the section from Remsen to Club Lane.
So that's like a quarter of a mile.
Yeah, it's just where we did the work, where we paved in front of the post. It's really
Okay.
the traffic going through that post.
Mark,
Yeah.
what's the proximity to the school?
Oh, it's
Schools are,
yeah, it's far.
the
Yeah.
schools are 20, aren't they?
My only
Totally, yeah.
concern is that every neighborhood's gonna be requesting for safety reasons that we
understand that,
lower their speed limit to 25.
So at all the meetings that we went to, Charlie went to, this is what always came up. Can we reduce the speed? So we said, okay, we'll try to reduce the speed. So now we're here talking about it, and we'll see if it gets approved.
I mean, can we say that it's not because, there's a feature there
Mhm.
that's heavily used by pedestrians.
Yeah. I mean, I think with the rumble strips that we have there and the way it's marked out now, I think we're pretty as safe as we could be without having to change the speed.
Well, you put 2 new crosswalks, in,
Mhm.
so I wonder if that has an impact. I mean,
To
And,
slow the
and
traffic,
rumble
yeah.
strips.
where's the rumble strip?
It's before that. It's just east and west of the crosswalks.
Can we leave it at 30 for a season and see if that
Yeah, that's a
slows
good
down
idea.
the
We
speed and then
revisit
it's
it.
still an issue?
Because we already did make so many changes with the sidewalks, the 2 crosswalks,
Yeah, I agree.
and the rumble strips.
Yep, we're just following up with what, the request was quite a few times, and that's what we're kind of presenting it to.
I have no problem trying 25 for a period because it's, the excuse is it's right in front of a post office. It's a heavy use area.
Yeah, I mean, there is that curve.
But we could wait a
there.
year. I can go either way.
Because they always say when they're coming from Montauk Highway, when you hit that bend, people are flying. So if they see 25, maybe they'll slow down a little bit more, then they'll see the crosswalk slow down even more.
Do we have a speed monitor over there?
There is not one there right now, no.
We might want to try that.
Well, we have, if we go to
Yeah.
25.
Then you can keep track.
Even at 30.
Or at 30. I mean, even I think if the issue is speeding,
Okay.
Personally, my experience with constituents when we deploy, which thanks to your help and coordination, constituents do see a difference. There's some that say, "Oh, nothing happened," but most of them do say, "I like that there because it keeps them in check."
They do have one that we didn't put up coming from the east going west.
Okay.
Probably 500 feet or so from the post office. So that there is one there already. It's a slow down. And then
put it
there's
up,
nothing
I
coming
wonder?
east
We
on the
didn't
other
do
side. Huh?
Who put it up at the town?
I don't know. I guess the Civic Association maybe? I don't know who it is.
They could just put up a speed
They
monitor.
did. It's been there for a long time, yeah.
That's a little disconcerting that
Yeah.
they could just put up a traffic regulatory device.
Yep.
I think that should be looked at and
Okay.
looked into. I don't think that there should be any other authority putting up any traffic regulatory device at all.
It's a good point.
Yeah, especially unless it's in the village.
Yeah, that's a separate jurisdiction.
Yes.
So, but when it's in the town, I think that's
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I mean, I could say if they wanted to fund one and come to the town and say, well,
Yeah.
we're funding this, can the town place it
Yeah,
here and
yeah.
go through our process, then it's one thing. But
Mhm.
for them to just buy one and put it up,
Because if someone hits it or it falls
Or
over,
gets
and hits
hurt.
someone,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's in the right of way.
Yeah.
and it's a regulatory device. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that
you might be able to get the serial number to trace it back.
Well, I'm
It
sure.
might
I'm
have a
sure.
little
I'm sure
placard
if
on
you
it
call the
that's-
Remsen
Yeah,
Association, I'm sure it's
I'm
them.
sure it's gotta be them. I never thought of
And
taking
it's good
it down.
intentioned. It's
It's
just.
been there forever since Charlie and I started, so that's why I never really.
And I think, in all honesty, they did it because there wasn't the prior board. This board has been very open to
The
putting
speed
up those
monitors?
devices. Yes, the prior board always just told people like they're expensive. We don't have the funding,
Right.
and they didn't get put up. So.
Right. And I'm not saying that. I just think that long term, I think that that sets a precedent.
And I also don't know that you might go to them and they might say, oh no, we did that with Alex Greger before
It could
Charlie
be, that's
even
my
came
point,
in.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Well, let's
know.
look into it.
So before we
Let's
throw
look-
them
let's
under the
look
bus
into
and
it.
say they did
Yeah.
something bad,
Do you-
they may have.
Do you have any in stock where you can put one on the other
Well,
side?
we're gonna get more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm trying to work with Tom. I'd like to get some communicative ones. The task force did analyze, as you know, Maria. We were talking about having some speed monitors that do flash, like slow down. Some of the civics and community organizations would like ones that have certain language that flashes on them.
Like the happy
Those are-
face, yeah.
Those are a little more expensive, but I think the ones that we've been getting do work. But we'll have like a little bit of a mix, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever
did
you
I
guys
mean, we
want.
don't need to pay extra for a smiley face.
Oh, it's-
I mean,
But
the
they-
ones
but they're-
that
but
say
they're very-
slow down and then they say
Thank
thank
you.
you. That's
Yes,
plenty.
that's the one I'm talking
Okay.
about. That's what I mean by communicative.
They
And
are
smiley
nice.
face
They
too.
are nice. You get a little
Thank
positive
you.
reinforcement.
Yeah, that I like.
But I
Very
did want to
polite.
ask, did we put the one on 39
Yes.
headed east?
That's odds.
I have to say, I drove by it this morning. That strobe flash, it's not a good, like when it really takes your eyes off of the road and it's really distracting.
Yeah, but this has been requested profusely by the Tuckahoe
I think I can
people.
turn the strobe feature
If we could
off.
turn the strobe off,
I think
the
if that's
strobe
what
is
you guys want
very
to do,
distracting.
you guys tell me what you want to do and I'll do it.
I mean, I'd really like to confirm that with the community. I did reach out to one of the residents over there. I'm waiting to hear back. They have been requesting that particular speed monitor, which was located further west, be located further toward Greenfield Road. And it's in particular, those people would like something that really signifies to the drivers
Yeah,
on
but that's-
39 that are heading toward Greenfield that they slow
That
down.
corner.
where it is this morning with everybody turning on that road and to take your
I-
eyes off
yeah.
because it's flashing at you is because let's face it, nobody is doing. I mean, I don't know what it's set to, but nobody's doing
It's set to
35.
30, yeah.
Yeah.
35,
so
whatever it
it's,
is. Yeah.
it's just a strobe that's constantly on because nobody's doing this.
But I'll say one thing. I thought it should be a little further east too, because it's right where the traffic, where the speed limit goes down, and it's on the curve.
No, the
A little further east, even
well,
like 100 feet.
well, yeah, it should be. It was further west.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was further west where people would slow down after sunrise turns into 39, and people slowed down for a little bit, but then they sped up right when Greenfield was there. The whole point is to really try to slow traffic down near the Greenfield area. I'd like to just see how it works for a little bit.
I'm just telling you as driving by it this morning.
Right by Saw's
west.
restaurant.
Like
yeah.
having the
Across from
having
Shelburne
the
Road,
speed
pretty
flash is not so much bad. It's that white strobe light,
Wasn't it in front of?
point-
and it
where
wasn't even
Dan's
me that was
Papers
speeding. It
is?
was
I
the
thought
car
was
in front
right
of me,
there.
and
No,
it just
no.
takes your.
It's past.
Attention.
It was there.
Just
We
don't
moved
want
it.
to take
moved it.
people's eyes off the road.
I think
Yeah,
the
yeah.
You already moved
I
it.
think
Yeah,
the
yeah,
point
yeah.
is to
When did
try
you
to
move it?
change the
2
driving
days
speed
ago.
there.
2 days ago. 3 days ago. I don't know.
Yeah,
Right,
it was
he
a
did
couple
move
days
it.
ago.
They did move it further east.
Yeah.
I was going
Yeah.
35,
I
so I
didn't
didn't
realize
notice
that.
it.
Yeah, it just did. Yeah,
Yeah, if you do the
Because-
speed limit,
because
you don't
because
get
they
a
were
strobe.
they kept
Well, it's not me. There's so much traffic on that road not doing
Yeah, I
the speed
thought it had no
limit.
idea.
You can't even control it. You don't even know who was the one speeding because there's so much.
But the
Whoa.
point is, again, the residents feel over there that they don't feel that they can safely and adequately come out of their neighborhood with the cars speeding like they are speeding currently. So the strobe goes off when they're going over the speed limit, correct?
Yep.
So the goal is to alert the driver that they are going over the speed limit and to slow down. So I think that's the whole reason for the tool to operate in that way, is to really change the behavior of the driver. That's why it flashes that strobe. I see what you're saying, but I think that's the whole. I think we should keep it there for now and let's see how it works.
It's
And
only
then,
been a couple days, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll
It just, I'm pretty sure I can just do it from my computer. I can just turn strobe off and it'll be off. So you guys
You can
talk
do it
about
from
it
your
some more.
computer.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
What's the average speed there so far?
I've been taking a report on it. About 110 maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that number.
we'll let's keep an eye on it.
Mhm.
I'd like to
Well,
talk
you hear
to
the
the
feedback.
Greenfield.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
like
yeah.
to talk
So
to the Greenfield
what do you
people
guys-
first before we do anything. I'm sure they'll be happy that it's closer to the road.
So the back to Remsenburg, I mean, is it, which side did they
Sorry.
say was more speeding? Was it the side that already has that digital monitor, or the other
They
way?
didn't specify east or west. They just said people are speeding through the area. Can we put up the whole safety thing? That's when we did the sidewalks and the crosswalks, and we did what we did.
The law is for both
In the road
directions. The law is a speed limit in both directions.
Mhm. I was gonna say, agree with Michael to put the speed monitors up on both sides, but now if there's already, and try that and see if that's effective. But if
You
there's
said it's already
already
on one
one
side?
there,
Well,
You're
it is
saying
on the
from
one
east to
side,
west.
but they put that up. I would put it closer
they
to the
put it up,
post office.
right.
It's a little further than
So let's look into that.
Mhm.
That speed monitor where it came from, and then let's see if we can more
Put one on
adequately
the other
replace
side.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we can revisit the speed limit.
Another
6
time.
months.
We can also
or-
see exactly once you do that, we can see how fast people actually are driving through there
Yeah,
because
'cause
sometimes
You'll collect the
the
data.
perceived speed is
Yes.
a lot more than it actually is.
yes, exactly.
I know that actually previously, Mark, you and I have actually put speed monitors on certain roads where it was requested, and we did look at the data
Yeah,
after a
And
few
people
months.
get angry when you tell them people
They're
actually
not
aren't
really-
speeding,
yeah,
and they're
It's
like,
amazing
"I'm
when you-
telling you, you didn't
Don't
do it the right
confuse me with
time."
the facts.
Yeah.
Or they say,
Yeah.
well, that's because the sign's up. Okay, well, then it's working.
So we may
Validate
actually be able to more accurately tell
Yeah.
what's actually happening.
Yeah, that's a
if-
good
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
If
So we'll
it's
put that up.
warranted to reduce the speed.
But just try to be careful about where it's put. You want right in front of someone's front door.
Do you want it like on its porch there next to?
Yeah, I know. Please don't.
I'd put it on the tree, but the trees are gone.
You better not go there.
That wasn't us. We all realize and understand that, right? That was
I know. It's just a
PSEG.
crazy
Yeah.
coincidence.
Yes, and we had nothing. There was no phone call from us. That was a total. If you look at the history from PSEG and their tree work, that was them. That they determined when that tree fell on the wire last Thanksgiving. They looked at all the other trees there and said that. It was a red list. And they came. I drove by just to look at the post office, and I think it was a Saturday
They
or
took a
Sunday. I
picture of
forget.
your truck at the scene.
Yeah, and I go, they're here on a weekend, and they did the stump grinding. They did everything. It wasn't just like they cut it or topped it like they usually do. They went all the way down to the ground. I'm like,
And you got blamed for it.
yeah, right
Yeah,
away.
because somebody said that we had marked the trees that had to come down, and we didn't take, when we decided we weren't gonna, we didn't take the ribbons off.
Oh no, yeah, they
Yes.
marked their own stuff.
Yeah, they
We
marked
might
their
have
own.
Mike Harrison. Well, the crew leaders go through their territory. If there's a dead tree, they'll mark it, and then we, put it on the agenda, schedule to get it cut down. So
When we
that's how
cut
that
a tree down, do we replace it?
Mm,
Does PSEG replace the trees?
No.
So that's up to the,
That's up to
what, it's, because it's not,
The homeowner.
the homeowner.
Out
but
of
it's
the
not
right
on
of way.
private property, right?
No, it's
That
on
was
the-
in the right of way?
It's kind of like a community. We talk about it, and then they want friendly, wire-friendly trees that have to be planted there. So there's a certain tree that you're allowed to. Like, I was told by PSCG that they put the oak tree on the, like the, what do they call that? The bushes and stuff they go crazy. They don't even want oak trees anymore, like planted around the wires. So that's because they're like weeds. They're just,
Go fast.
yeah. So that's how we usually do that.
Okay.
Because the community over at Hampton West had asked about, they said that they thought the town planted the trees over there and now they're dying, and what do we do to,
Well, we went through the same thing,
We can't.
Bishop's
replant,
Pond, that they thought that we planted the trees when they did that. It was like, no, we had the records, like we were going through site plan and the subdivision,
Yeah,
and that was
there's
all
no
done at that
replanting.
point in time.
Imagine if we had to replant all the trees. It'd be,
Be broke.
especially now, because the old subdivision, the trees are starting to die. The ones
yeah.
that are up
But
to
if they're in the right of way and we have to take down a dead tree, we wouldn't replace it?
No. Like we're going through
Well,
in
pretty
this
soon
quad
all
right
the
now.
trees will die, and then
So
what,
the
we'll have
homeowners
no
don't
trees?
say,
Do
what
we
can
have,
I
when,
do?
when subdivisions go through site plan, before we take it into the roadway system,
That's what I'm
shouldn't we
working on
be
with
saying, like, you don't plan in the right of way?
Yeah, that would be the perfect.
We have
Just
to
stay
have
out of the right of way from day one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It's never gonna happen.
All right, so we'll get to the bottom of the signs, the
Okay.
flashing sign, and
Yeah,
adding
so I'm
another
gonna.
one.
I can maybe shift like we talked about. Maybe a sign that we put up somewhere that we put it up. It's not really. It's like kind of been there long enough. We
Yeah.
can maybe switch it
I
over
think
to
there's one on East End and East Quag.
East Vale or
Is it on Vale?
Might be on
It's
Vale.
on Vale.
Vale was a hot topic though. I think we should probably leave that one.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think you're
but
right.
I'll find one.
Because
to
the one
shift
that's
it.
there now might be an old-fashioned kind that doesn't even.
Well, that's the one of the unknown one.
We're
that's
gonna
there.
we're gonna try
Yeah.
to
We're gonna
procure
add one
additional.
from us.
It's all
Yeah.
too, we're in the,
How
we're
many
in the
was-
off
how many
season,
That was
so
for
it's-
5, that quote,
You
Five?
really get a true.
It was like 20 something.
27.
Yeah, so I'm gonna introduce a resolution procuring additional monitors.
Okay.
I mean, it's in the budget.
Yep. So I'll talk to Dorothy.
There's
after.
also, Tom also has a line for it.
I
Tom?
don't know if you even need a resolution, if it's, I mean, fine if you want to, but I think it's because it's in the budget, you can just.
If I ordered them
I-
today, it would take about 3 weeks to get.
All right,
she
let's do that. If we have to do a resolution, I'll talk to you. Should it?
shouldn't have to.
If it's already in the budget.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll
Yeah.
just go ahead.
Go ahead.
So
Traffic
I'll
safety
give you
measures.
I'll give you the
It's in
quote. You
there.
give me the PO, or how does this work?
Should I talk to Dorothy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll talk
I just
to
need a
Dorothy.
PO to send to the World Traffic Solutions.
Got it.
She might
She
have
might
to move
need the
money into
price.
our operating.
Yeah, I have an estimate.
Yeah.
I sent
It
it
was
to
under
my.
the
Okay.
engineering department.
No smiley face.
And it was traffic safety
Yeah.
measures.
No tongue sticking at nothing. No. Thank
We
you.
do need a couple
That's
of those.
it.
Though. We do need a couple of those. I think that we could do is the one on Noyak. We could take that one out
Mhm.
and replace that one with the smiley face.
Smiley. Okay. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You get whatever you'd like to get, and I'll put them up.
Okay.
These first 5 won't be that though. These
I know.
first
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, these will be
because
for-
that'll change the price of things.
Yeah. Correct.
It's
Yeah.
from a different company though. It's
Oh,
not the
it
same
is.
company.
All traffic. So
They don't sell the smiley
solutions.
face.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, that's okay.
We don't want that.
Like the ones that you see in Quag and stuff. That's what you like.
Yeah, and Bridgehampton too.
And Bridgehampton.
I think Lumber Lane has
Mhm.
them.
Remember, we're on a budget.
Just get the one that says slow down, thank you.
Okay. You got it.
Yeah,
We don't need
Right?
emojis.
Yeah.
No emoji.
yeah, no emojis, and then you
Can you
and
change
then
the
you're supposed
emoji
to-
from your desk?
Yeah.
I didn't try that one yet.
What would you put when they're
Emo-
speeding?
Yeah, oh, geez.
Then you put the speed limit right on top of it, right?
Yeah, I noticed the ones that we put out don't have the speed limit on
Which
them.
one? I bet you they all do right now.
Are you now affixing the speed limit to some of them?
To all,
To all of them?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
made sure the guys go through it. If they didn't have it, they
Yeah.
put it up.
Okay.
Yeah. That
Thank
one
you.
up in Riverside didn't
Yeah.
have it, now it does. Thank you. All right, what's the next topic then about Inlet Road?
Yeah,
Yes.
over by the Lobster Inn. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that little inlet that comes in from Bay.
Yeah, I forgot to take a
Tacoma
picture
Bay.
for you.
There's like a little, used to call it the dock. It's a bulkheaded area where the water comes through back to the Lobster Inn. And there's a parking area there that we're getting some phone calls on that people are overnight parking.
It's been for years.
And right now, it's just seasonal parking, parking by season, whatever, permit only. And we'd like to switch it over to no parking overnight,
Like the rest of town,
like the rest of the town. Yeah,
Yeah, but I thought the parking was ended at a certain hour anyway.
1 a.m.
yeah, but they, like,
The people, they go there and they sleep overnight and then fish
Are there
overnight.
people in the cars sleeping, or
Yes.
just
I think it's a little mixture of both. Yeah. So I don't know how to handle that. Do we just put the signs up? Do we ask for more enforcement? It's kind of
I think
Right,
the
both.
signs would be necessary.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we talking about it's just this one area, or are we talking
Yeah, it's
about
a
maybe
small,
even
like, if you-
other-
Yeah,
Like if you
I'm
could
gonna
probably
try
get
to find
5
it out.
cars parked pointing at the
it's right at the inlet.
yeah. So
But what's it
and there's a little
restricted
beachy
to
area
now?
there, huh?
What's the restriction now?
Just seasonal
Seasonal.
parking. Yeah, by permit only.
It's there right there.
Town permit?
Yeah.
What are the hours?
Let
that
me.
it-
I have
you
a
know?
picture of this.
Cause we're having a lot of road end questions,
Yeah.
so
That
I wanna
problem?
be
Same.
consistent.
Yeah, yeah. no,
Well,
it's-
we also have, I told Bill, we have Kristen Dulos coming in to our next work session to talk about making the seasonal restrictions uniform across town.
A little bit
Yeah.
longer.
For the road ends, for the trustee, right, because
Yeah.
the trustee roads have a
Yes.
different than we have, so we're just gonna
Right.
make it all match.
I
So
agree.
that's there right now. I don't. Did you show?
I just showed it Google.
Okay.
Parking by season permit only, July 1st to Labor Day, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So, and then
Perfect.
subject to tow. So nobody can be parked there after 6 p.m.
But
No,
In
after
off
6
season,
p.m. you
people
can
can
park there without a permit.
right.
Oh,
So we want
oh.
this year round. So.
I
Yeah.
Oh,
So we
you're
would just
right.
be putting up the signs that we have throughout town that says no parking 1 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
We would remove these. Yeah, and then
So there wouldn't be seasonal parking there too?
Yeah, I think you need
You
both.
would leave
you
that.
want both. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm just
Seasonal
trying to
parking.
get some
no
ideas.
parking 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. Is that what we're saying?
9 a.m. to.
No, I mean now we would want to make it so you can't park there during the wee hours.
Right.
Yeah.
That is happening a lot. I do receive calls about, cars parked at road ends.
Mm-hmm.
People saying that they're smoking weed.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what
I
about the
mean,
big?
honestly, so I've
It's
heard
legal. Well, not in your car.
it. Yeah,
I guess they're getting at it. I don't know.
Well, what about the Bayview Pines? Weren't they asking for something at the end of their road too?
They wanted more restrictive permit parking during the season.
Restrictive
They
permit
put-
parking.
They pretty much want just for their neighborhood to use it. Because we had this for a long time with the trustees too.
And we can't.
You can't tell one neighborhood, okay, it's for you,
Mhm.
but this neighborhood can't come over and use it.
Right now, it's
It's-
just town residents can
yeah,
use it,
yeah.
right?
It's a town facility, town
Exactly.
property, so that everyone in the town can use it.
So should we put the no overnight parking at other places too? Or just,
Well,
why
I guess
would we just hit this one? I mean,
We'll
is
just
it,
do
there's
it as we get the
complaints.
complaints, or
Do as we
Yeah.
get the complaints.
we'd change the code, right?
yeah, we'd have to, I guess.
So
Right?
you can change the code. But you might want to wait until to change the code until Kristen comes in so you can change the code and the time at the same time,
Oh, the dates.
the dates. Because I think,
But we already scheduled a public hearing for this one, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I think
25th.
that the date should be a little bit longer. I think she's trying, I think it's a week
That's-
before.
Yeah,
2 weeks
she's
before.
trying to we're trying to make everything be
Yeah, the 15th to the,
April 15th to September 15th,
I don't know how to word it. Right.
like the trustees have on the road.
Yeah.
How would you do both signs? What do you think? How does that?
We would have to do it separately because it's a different part of the code.
Mm-hmm.
Could you
I,
put one on top
gotta
of the
check
other?
which part,
just
but
on
we
the
already
same
did
pole?
this by
Oh, that
itself,
works.
so we'd have to do another one separately or withdraw this.
Because the one when we do all the road ends, I think it's gonna be different pieces of code, because it's in different, different
Right.
hamlets and.
This is the Remsen, no, is this the Remsen? No.
Sure.
Shinnecock
this is-
Hills, yeah.
Shinnecock Hills one. Yeah, I think it is by Hamlet.
I mean, you could just say, like, you just have a sign, right? Just that says no parking overnight. Right? Because that's essentially what you're doing. You're
Well,
just
I thought that was
adding
town
on.
code on all residential roads.
Can I see the?
Or we can just repost it and
It
just
is.
change it,
No,
do the
the
dates and
the
say-
It
resolution.
might already be in the code.
The resolution.
I thought that was a town-wide code, that residential roads, there was no parking between 1 AM and 6 AM.
It might not
What
be a
if it's
residential
trustee?
road. It might be a different kind of road. We have all different
County
like,
road or-
yeah, we have through roads. This will
So,
take into effect.
Just want to
the
figure out how
specific.
to end the overnight
The roads
parking.
are
So
all-
whatever
Yeah.
suggestions, I'm not a guru on parking, no parking.
This is gonna be
and you're
all year
sleeping.
round.
You're sleeping
They
out
wanna
there,
limit
but
that.
Exactly.
No, because there's seasonal parking restrictions during the day there.
Okay, so
That'll
this is
stay.
all year round with this.
And my only concern though is this is 9 PM to 6 AM, and everywhere else in the town it's 1 AM to 6 AM.
that's already up. That sign's already up.
What's that in?
No, this is for
Draft.
no parking
Oh,
from
draft.
9 PM
Yeah.
to 6 AM,
Oh,
and
okay.
everywhere else in the town it's 1 AM to 6 AM.
Yeah. We don't want to have too many different
No, I know.
variations.
Yeah, we want to
Keep
make
it
it
simple.
uniform.
So you wanna renotice this one?
Well, we already have it scheduled, so we'd have to hear comment on it and then close it.
We can't withdraw the public.
No,
hearing?
You're already,
It's
no,
already
you,
No.
no.
noticed.
So at the public hearing, we'll say we want it to be,
Our intention is
One.
going to be to change this to
AM.
one and
Can
then.
we just add just
Who's
the
this,
sign that
this?
says no overnight parking attached to that sign?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because that's
Easier.
essentially
Yeah.
what we're doing.
No overnight parking.
That's
but
it.
what's
Yeah,
in
yeah.
overnight,
But
so
what's
you have to
night?
put the
Yeah.
time.
You can say
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
this to this, just under the other sign.
Right under here.
Yep.
I think we only needed the resolution because we were changing it to something other than the town code, which is 1 AM to 6 AM. So if we do 1 AM to 6 AM, we don't even need a resolution, you can put that up today.
If it constitutes a residential street, right? Is
Yeah,
that how
so
it
that's
is?
the
Yeah.
problem. All the streets are different, so that's why they're
So
better
we
off
need to
putting up
find
a
That
out
signs
if
specific
already
it's a
up right
sign.
now.
resolution,
Yeah.
if it's a residential
today.
street, then we're good.
That's up today.
But, yeah, Rich sent me that today.
Yeah, so that sign's already up.
1
That sign
AM to
is.
6 AM?
That
yeah.
sign is. Yeah,
So this must have been, I don't know how long ago the sign went up.
It just says the seasonal parking, it doesn't.
Yeah,
say-
but what
Season
I'm saying
park.
is if we can find out that that's a residential street or
Yeah.
in
Then
the
we
town,
can just post
then we can
it.
just post it right now.
Yeah, without
on-
it.
It's
Right
definitely
next to that
residential.
sign,
It's
it
definitely
says-
residential,
No overnight parking 1 AM to 6 AM, on residential streets, that's in the town of Southampton, it says the
But it's
code on.
not, is it a subdivision street? Like residential streets are subdivision
Right,
streets.
right. I would
Right?
have
I
to
mean, it
look.
might be in a residential zone, doesn't mean it's a residential street. It
Yeah,
could be
yeah.
still a
That's
town
for
street
the
or.
lawyer
I
to
think we-
figure
Sorry.
out.
So we
gotta
gotta
figure that out.
And if we figure that out and it is, then we don't even have to have another public hearing.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
And
great.
if it
I think
isn't,
we
then
should
we
just
will.
go that route.
perfect.
Be easier.
You'll be able to make the signs.
Yeah, whatever. We'll figure that one out.
Well, if it's a standard sign, then we have the standard.
Then
Yeah, I
we'll
just
have
wanna
to-
make sure
then
that
when
whatever-
Christian come in, we should have the highway come in at the same time. To discuss that, the sign times. Because it involves you guys too.
Can you come back next Thursday?
Yeah, of course. Let me check my
Wait,
schedule.
it's next-
Okay.
it's not next Thursday.
Available.
It's the 13th, actually.
Oh.
That Kristen's coming in, not next Thursday.
I was going to take you to France.
Oh.
Well, you can go now, because it's the 13th.
Oh, okay.
Thursday, we still go. She's happy.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a plan.
Sounds good. Thank you for all your
Probably have
work.
to
Yeah,
put this
we
back.
should
You
get
know what that plan is?
Updates on the, the other projects too.
Yeah, I spoke to Michael yesterday. I'm going to put it all together and Bill. I said I'm going to put everything together and I'm going to send it to all you guys so
Yes,
you know
that'd be
the
good.
for 25 what the new projects are.
I can
and
put it on
where
my
we
new
are with the
whiteboard.
old projects.
Good, and we
So-
can
so-
maybe have you come to a work session and we can
Yeah.
talk about it. Love that. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
All right.
guys.
All right,
Appreciate
whenever you
your
have
help.
that.
Thank you,
Thanks.
David.
Michael, you let me know about the money?
Yes.
When I can put it in?
Yes.
And the new trucks we're getting. because she's watching right now.
Jen,
Okay, thanks.
just
Thank you,
ask
Dorothy.
Dorothy what you can do as a purchase order.
All right, guys,
We
have a
did
good
that
day.
resolution for the bulkhead, we switched the money.
Oh, that was great, yes, Anita, thank you for doing that. Well, I think that's exciting. I just hope we don't get now, whatever with that insurance form that wasn't filled out. and now
Yeah,
the
okay, yeah,
Contractor can't hold those prices from last, whatever,
we'll hope that works out.
so it's gonna
Yeah,
be
we
about
got,
20%.
let's go out the bid
But we'll
again.
figure it out.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
who was making the call on that?
Jim,
I forget. Oh, okay.
He
I'm
said
gonna
that-
ask him today.
yeah, he said that we had to go back out the bid.
He did?
Yeah, sat next
Because they,
to
the
fever.
number 2 guy said he couldn't honor the price.
Don't get me sick.
That was-
I'm already sick.
You're on antibiotics, you're good. I've been taking like an emergency every day, sometimes twice a day.
I asked Mark about it too.
We're waiting for Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. What time is he coming?
Janice went to call him, see if he can come up early. Why couldn't
Does
he?
anybody, well, I guess we could ask him if there's an update on the bathrooms? Because every day it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
playing roulette. Is there going to be bathrooms? Is there not going to be bathrooms?
Well, I guess now they're having a problem. First we were waiting for the water testing, but now the guys are not, coming back. And I said, do we have penalties built into the contract? Because they're finishing up some other thing that they
Because they were
started.
waiting for us, so they did something
Yeah.
else.
Maybe we could push them into the spring.
But I mean, really, I
That's
don't
okay.
think people care because
No.
We
We,
would
we didn't
prefer-
mind
better.
that last week when it was, negative
Yeah.
degrees outside. How are you feeling, Janice? How are you feeling? Good. There's all kinds of crap going around. Stuff.
Stuff.
yes.
Still waiting
I
for
think I'll get a cup of tea.
the title insurance to come back from Chris Newsy.
I thought we got
Do you want to take 5 minutes?
Not yet.
Just so they're not.
No.
The cameras are not.
Okay.
No, I'm just. You can still do. No, you can still do it. But just like so we gavel out and then come back.
No.
Hi, Tom.
Hello.
Hey, Tom.
We'll just sit down for 1 second. I don't know what Michael. Where's Michael?
How are the chairs?
Yeah,
They're okay.
nice.
Nice.
I know.
I know.
So I think we should, on those, put those little, things that make them slide a little easier on the carpet.
Like some Teflon on the bottom. or
They-
something
they
like that,
make
a
the
bit of
little,
plastic.
plastic
Yeah.
discs.
These are going to get banged up because they hit right at the. I'm just telling you, I don't know if we put a little.
Any word on when the bathrooms are starting again?
We're twisting their arm to get here Monday.
Okay.
They've been pretty,
Delinquent.
pretty dodgy, not giving us real answers on why they're not here. The answers are changing, so we're getting pretty close to wanting to give them the boot, get somebody else in to
We're,
finish.
Yeah.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're not watching. If they're not here next week, then we have problems.
Issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have problems.
Because it's holding everything else up in your plan.
Facade renovation, all that.
The paint job,
Solar on the
Stairs.
roof.
so
Yep.
on.
Put your hand sanitizer.
Oh, this is good. Thank you, Janice.
Missed the spot.
Michael, do you want to do the county request first on Lake Avenue? I think that one's just gonna be quicker.
Yeah,
And we'll-
yeah, that's great.
Go
Yeah,
with the
from-
quality.
that came from Mountsbury, right?
Yeah, yeah, I have his letter. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
keep it honest.
Yes, thank you.
Should we wait for Christine or just get started?
I think we can get
Started.
started.
All right.
She wasn't doing these, I don't think.
So the next topic is parking amendments to roads within the town for Lake Avenue and Corwith Avenue. And Tom Houghton, our town engineer, is here with us today
Hi,
to
good
talk
morning.
us through.
So our first public hearing that we have on, we received a letter from Alex Prego, Assistant Chief Engineer at Suffolk County Department of Works. He recommended, what typically happens is Suffolk County recommends parking restrictions on county roads, but they can't enact them, right? It's up to the town to enact these restrictions. We have the sole authority on them. So they review their roads and periodically make recommendations to us of what they'd like to see on their portion of their road, but in our code, so it can be enforced. So this has to do with the areas surrounding Wildwood Lake. This is on County Road 63, otherwise known as Lake Avenue. And it stretches north from the old gas station. You familiar with that? The
Yes, I've
vacant,
been.
kind of bombed out gas station?
We're trying to buy it.
We're trying to buy that.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Your new office.
Nice comfort station. So it stretches north from there all the way to the next intersection with Lake Avenue. So what we believe is happening is that the existing no parking restrictions on Lake Avenue have now forced people that don't have beach permits or town stickers to now park further up, right? So instead of like illegally parking right next to the lake to use the lake, they're actually parking further up and actually parking on both sides of Lake Avenue, which is resulting in an issue with the county. So this public hearing is to put through their recommendation for the parking restrictions on that section.
So I kind of know where the area you're talking about is without seeing it on a map. Will this potentially push those people into neighborhoods nearby or no?
It is unlikely to, just because there is a stretch of road before you get to the neighborhood. But if it does start to, we can look at that legislation as well.
But we put parking restrictions in, and I understood that the county declined to put parking restrictions in.
I'm not familiar with that. The county has recommended on their portion of 63 in front of the bowling alley and all that there be parking restrictions. So I don't recall any declines or anything like that. But I have
what Tommy John said.
Yeah, I've got a letter directly from the county.
No, I think
for
it
this
was. We
section,
were just
so.
waiting to hear from them, and
Yeah.
it took a while
they
to
never-
get. I think we were waiting on this too. They were looking at the whole thing, and this is part of what they were looking at.
I have the worst memory, so I'm recalling something about like reaching out to the county to
Yeah.
ask them their opinion on it.
We did.
But this came in fresh from them.
I'd like
unprompted.
to follow through on this. It's going to help the
Yes.
county to, take a look at this more closely, and if we have to enact additional restrictions, we can. But the county has so far been very helpful to us with respect to a variety of.
No, I think we initiated. We definitely want to do this. I think we initiated
Yeah.
this.
And
There's other spots on County Road where we want to look at the same thing, where we get up in County Road going up into North Sioux, where the businesses are.
yeah, just in the past, we've never received a frivolous parking recommendation from the county. It's
Yeah.
always,
Except for that one in East Quogue.
oh,
Oh, and this request came from the Wildwood Neighborhood Watch.
that talk to the county. So,
Yeah,
so the
okay.
county,
So this is the response that we were waiting for.
Yeah, we
Yes.
want to do that. We were asking for this. But what it was because it was a county road. We were waiting to get their input.
Yeah.
And it took a while.
we want to make sure that we coordinate with them. We never want to just put regulations on county road that they might be in conflict with. So,
Now you got it in writing. So
Yeah.
now-
pretty straightforward. I'd like to get it in place before the summer season.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not an issue because nobody's using the lake.
We have to get people used to it, so they
Yeah.
see it.
That's on for a public hearing, right?
Yeah. This is on Tuesday. We
Oh, okay.
noticed the public hearing, and then the public hearing is on in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Tom, for your work on that.
Yeah,
Yes, thanks, Tom.
these are always easy.
Yeah.
County
So-
does the legwork.
We make the signs, or we just.
Yeah. We make signs. We put signs in.
We give the tickets out.
Yeah, correct.
It's our town code.
So,
There's my other spots we should look on other county roads about no parking.
yeah, we would want to coordinate that with the county,
We
recommend
always get
what we
complaints
think,
about
and they would always look at it.
CAC on.
Even though it's a county
two
road, we
businesses
do
there.
the signs.
The
I
house
think we
across
typically
from
have. I mean, I can
Sal's.
talk to them about
Yeah.
No,
the signs.
it
So.
doesn't matter. I just sort of surprised at that. I mean, how much control do we have when it's a county road?
It's our code, but I don't know that we want to get into a regulatory conflict with the county, right? So,
Gotta work together.
yeah, we don't ever want to get in a situation where we recommend something and the county might deem it unsafe or something like it could become an issue. But the county is always very amicable in working with us on these regulations. So we might recommend something, they might come back and say, we think this would work better.
Right.
Their
The
roads are,
one they did, I mean, it's a perfect example, is the one they did in East Quogue across from the deli, which didn't work out. They wanted it there because there was no crosswalk to the deli, and it wasn't working there, so we went to them and said, listen,
Yep.
it doesn't make sense to have a crosswalk here, and we think it's a 40-mile-an-hour zone there,
it is.
so you don't want cars driving through and then screeching to a halt at a crosswalk. And also, then they came back, we worked with them, and they, put that sight distance down for the intersection, and, we compromised on it.
They rely on us to know the area,
Yeah.
to know the patterns. They're looking at it from a pretty technical perspective. Is there enough distance? Is there enough stopping room? But we can tell them, what our residents are doing in that area and how it'll impact them.
So if we wanted to put speed monitors or something on a county road, we have to get their permission,
do.
but then we pay for
Yes.
the
Yeah.
installation.
So the one on 39, we had Chief Kiernan, myself, Highway, we all work together to, work with the county to see if we could put that up there.
Mhm.
Just
And
and
over-
we're responsible for the maintenance of those items too, just like we're responsible for the maintenance of any
Mhm.
county traffic light within the town as well. So it's quite funny. We don't, from my count, we don't actually have any of our own traffic lights outside of the villages
They're all
and
county
stuff
and
like that.
state.
They're either county or state traffic lights, and we're responsible for the maintenance. So while we don't have much say or any say over the timing of them or
Blinking them.
how they operate, we are responsible to fix them.
What about paving? They do the paving.
Yeah, yeah.
And what about the sidewalks? They do
Yeah,
the
any
sidewalks.
maintenance, we're responsible for clearing the sidewalks, I believe.
Yep.
So
That's correct.
it's kind of a weird relationship.
Yeah, well, it works. I guess it's been working, so fine. All right, thank you.
Yeah, so that's
pretty
CR63 Lake Avenue. I think it makes a lot of sense. The second public hearing that we noticed and is on for public hearing in 2 weeks is the Corwith Avenue regulations. They're back. We heard from the Bridgehampton Civic Association. We heard from Pamela Harwood. We received a letter from her.
Of somebody else too.
Daniel McMahon,
Yeah.
one of the neighbors. Daniel and his niece spoke during the public hearing last time. I don't think he understood the 3-minute rule. He expressed that in his email. But Pamela has reversed course on any objection to instituting 3-hour parking restrictions on that section. So we wanted to bring it back. We think it makes a lot of sense. We're extending a 3-hour rule. Right now there's 3 hours up until about the Bridgehampton Museum area. And then past that, there are 0 regulations.
So they can park all day.
Yeah, they can park, aside from no overnight parking, which is standard throughout the town in residential areas. But yeah, they could park all day. Anyone can park all day for anything. And it's becoming a bit of a issue with Bridgehampton Civic, with the neighbors.
Neighbors in particular. Is this going to affect the highway barn?
The highway barn, we passed those regulations at the fall public hearing, right?
That's
So
what
there's,
I remember.
yeah, so it was a 2-parter. We
Yeah.
recommended 3-hour parking on this section, and then the section directly in front of the highway department, we recommended and approved no parking because of being able. There's 2 gates there. When cars are parked on both sides of the street, or even just the opposite side of the street, when they're getting salt deliveries, when they're getting tractor trailer deliveries, it's dangerous and difficult to get those trucks to maneuver out of there, to maneuver onto what is essentially a residential street.
So we did that, right?
We did that.
And
We
then
passed
we left
that, yeah.
this open.
Yeah.
Correct. We decided not to implement this,
Right.
and we had kind of a recurrence this month of interest in this from the Civic Association to get this implemented. So
Thank you, Tom, for your diligence on this.
yeah, so this one that we're putting forward, it's just the 3-hour. Highway passed already, so it's a singular one on this.
And were you able to find out where those cars are coming from?
Yeah, so it's a number of businesses on lumber. Not lumber, I'm sorry. Why am I blanking?
Butter.
Yes.
Butter Lane.
No, it's sorry, I drive down there every other day.
Newman?
Yeah, I think it's.
Newman. It's on the. It's
Yeah,
isn't it
just give me 1 second.
on the
I cannot believe I'm blanking. on
other
this.
side of Corwith. That's what you had originally believed.
Maple.
Okay.
Maple is the street that the train station's on. Coffee shop train station. You've got there's a tennis court company on there. You've got Napa Auto on that street. So it's
A lot of
overflow.
businesses in
It's
there.
overflow parking from those businesses that they have too much storage on site, not enough room for their own employees to park.
Are they gonna go park in the train station now?
If they do, there are regulations in the train station. So I believe.
So why does it bother? It's bothering people that the employees are parking there?
Yeah, those people that live on that street.
Uh-huh.
So they're parking in front of their house all day. They're parking on the opposite side of the street all day. We haven't verified, but we've received information that people are doing things in their cars, such as changing and all this other stuff that the town has not observed, but the residents are telling us this. So we would like this parking area to be a parking area that allows people to go to Main Street.
And
to
you've been
visit
looking at this for a
businesses.
while. It's not just this year or last year. This
Yeah.
has been sort of
Yeah.
happening for a while.
I mean, sometimes there'll be 12, 15 cars just parked in a line up there, and they'll be parked there all day. So it's the businesses not providing ample parking on their own parking
A lot of
lots.
businesses do that. They use it for storage for the trucks. The trucks go out, the cars should go in.
Yeah, it's similar
But they're
to
required to have parking for their employees,
some of them are old enough where they have not had recent site plans, or they may not have been required by the town to have enough parking. Granted, they may be required to conform with the parking, but that's not to say that they have enough room for their cars. We ran into kind of the similar issue in Montauk Highway and Hampton Bays when we were looking to do some no parking for the gas main regulator for National Grid on that section. And the pool company across the street and other businesses they'd make everybody park on the street so that they could keep their trucks on site. So kind of should be like a one in, one out type of situation. So
Yeah. Thank you for your work on this.
Well,
Yeah,
so
so
what's
thanks,
the
Tom.
story? I mean, what are we trying to do?
And I
We're-
mean, they're service businesses, so they really shouldn't need their parking for customers coming in and out, right?
yeah, these aren't customers parking there.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but it's not like they need their parking at their site for customers
I
because
wouldn't
they're.
think so. Like the real service businesses are on the opposite
Yeah.
side. It's Java Nation, it's the print shop, it's Napa. Those are the businesses that
Yeah.
are getting foot traffic. Not to say the others don't get a lot of foot traffic.
And they'll
but-
handle the 3-hour parking will be fine.
And then anyone who wants to go to Main Street, if the school street parking lot's filled, if the parking lot next to Almond is full, like you can park on this area,
For 3
walk to Main Street, go to Bobby Vance, do
Love Bobby Vance.
do whatever you'd like to do.
Great calamari salad.
Is there too, right? The Hampton Jitney stop. People
Mhm.
can get on the
Yeah.
jitney.
Correct.
So we're
Um,
changing it to 3-hour parking?
Yep, 3-hour restriction. There's currently no overnight parking, so it'd be 3 hours between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. So
So if you're going to dinner, it doesn't matter, you can park there
Yeah.
for.
7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
this is a 3-hour
restriction.
restriction. Yep. And if you're
Was
free,
that the original iteration? Was that the or
it
no,
is.
was
It's
okay.
the exact original iteration. The that matches the current restriction on the southern end of that street. So when you pull onto Corwith on the left-hand side, there's like dirt head-in spaces, right? So that's a 3-hour restriction, and then there's a section on both sides of parallel street parking that's also a 3-hour restriction. After that, it's all day. So we're just extending that 3-hour restriction for those people that want to frequent the Main Street businesses or the businesses on Maple. Do your business, park your car, head out. So
I think it's fair.
What was the problem last time we looked at it?
the
That we
problem.
didn't go forward?
They were concerned
Which
that
makes more
this
sense.
Tom has found that a lot of these are he's found out more information about where the cars are coming from, but also they were worried that this would trigger the development of additional parking lots, and they don't want that to happen. So we had conversations. We're not looking to build another parking lot.
Yes.
So we're just going to do this.
Yeah, I believe the Civic Association thought that we were going to implement this 3-hour parking and then eliminate parking for people and then use that as a reason to develop a massive parking lot.
Which they don't
So-
want.
Correct.
Which it's a historic district downtown
Yeah,
now,
right.
so.
So,
You said this is a no parking 1 a.m. to 6 a.m.
yeah,
already,
no
'cause
overnight
it's
parking. Yeah,
Overnight, because we were just talking about that in connection with a different,
gotcha.
I mean, that's
Location.
just in the residential zones or neighborhood.
Yeah. So, is this like a road end or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that?
Inlet
Okay.
Road.
Yeah, Inlet Road West, down by Lobster Inn, by the inlet.
Gotcha.
So we were gonna just
Close to
research
the
that and
inlet.
see if it's captured already or if we had to change the code to add that.
Yeah, we run into that from time to time. We ran into it in, I believe, Queog. A couple of road ends down there. We heard from the neighbors that lived. There was a public hearing for 3 years ago, something like that. 2 years ago, maybe. Typically, it's the residents that lives directly adjacent to that road end that's getting impacted by cars just parking there
Yeah, it's
all
staying
evening,
overnight.
hanging out. So typically we try and step up enforcement as the first measure, and then we look at limiting the parking restrictions while not alienating those trying to use the road end. So typically, like after 6-7 p.m. is when we do like a no stopping or anything like that in that area. So this way you can still like kayak launch during the day and keep your car there. Those aren't really the people that are offending anyone.
No, they're using it, being respectful.
Yeah, nobody's going kayaking at 9 o'clock at night
No.
for the most part.
They're sleeping, hanging out.
So yeah, that's what we have for the public hearings.
Okay.
I just wanted to make an announcement to you all. Greg Curtis, our maintenance mechanic 4, today he's retiring today after
Oh, no.
27 years
Wow.
with the town. Greg started with us in 1998.
Thank you, Greg.
Having
So,
cake
yeah.
for Greg?
Greg is a very private person and has not wished for a cake. So,
Aw.
yeah, if you see Greg, thank him.
Okay.
But yeah, he's been a tremendous asset to the town. We're really gonna miss him.
Super nice.
So-
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
I'm
Be
glad
hard to
he's
replace
able
him.
to retire.
Yeah, we're gonna need 2 people to replace Greg. So it's just the amount of knowledge that one acquires over 27 years working on so many buildings here. He was here before we built Flanders Community Center. He was here before we renovated Town Hall, all that stuff. Like he knows kind of where everything is. So we've been going around with him the past couple of weeks, just like walking through buildings,
Oh, good idea.
just trying to get some additional information to help
Catalog
make this
everything.
transition easier. Yeah. So
You might have to have him come back as a consultant.
there is always a part-time option that we'll extend to him. So
Good luck with the hiring.
yeah,
I know
yep,
It's a challenge.
yes. So
All right, thanks.
Okay.
I don't
Thank you.
have
All
any
right,
other
thank you
questions.
very
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
We are way ahead of schedule.
That's good.
That brings us to the town council and supervisor liaison updates. Who's ready? Bill, you got something to talk about?
Let's see. We're still waiting for the Tyler report to come back on Conscious Point dock and boat ramp, which should come back in any day. It's going to be very exciting. The neighbors are going to be very happy, and the people of Southampton are going to be very happy. And we got a little trouble up in Long Neck, but we're going to settle that problem. A lot of miscommunication up there, and it's a wonderful project, and I hate to see the project go away because we've been working on it for a long time, and that's about it.
Okay.
I don't have anything new since last week.
So yesterday, I actually went to the highway department, talked about various projects, and one major thing that I just wanted to communicate was that the Noyak repaving project Phase 1, which will be from North Sea Road to Deerfield, will begin this spring. So the people of Noyak will be very happy to hear that Noyak Road will be repaved.
Good. And it's a good idea for them to come and update us because I know they have some information on the Trout Pond culvert repairs and,
Yep.
you know, some of the other projects that they're doing. So we want to stay informed.
Yes.
Oh, I do have one thing. We'd actually just did put out a press release. I want to thank Ryan Murphy. We had worked together on the signs in Hampton Bays. I think the residents have seen a good change in downtown. You know, a lot of most of the businesses, I would say, came into compliance on their own. We had 2 meetings with business owners to go over their concerns, over what they would like to see, and so with their input, we now are having our first meeting regarding the sign code to look at potential changes and, you know, the whole thing as a whole. But
Well,
Brian,
that's yeah. I had a meeting with the Hampton Bay Civic. I went to one of their meetings, and that was one of the things that came up. They were asking about code enforcement, and you know, I told them we had hired a couple of new people in the budget anyway for this year, and that they may have noticed that some of the signs in the windows had come down, and a couple of them said, yeah, they had, and they were really happy about that.
yeah. So there, I mean,
But,
like I said, most did come into compliance willingly.
Yeah.
Some are going to be issued summonses moving forward.
It was a good effort.
But yeah,
But we should talk about the signs code. You know, I mean, it
Yeah.
should be a committee or something that
we
we
have
all
it's,
talk
it's-
about it.
Ryan and I are meeting with one of the building inspectors who does a lot of the sign code work, and we'll get together a preliminary, you know, and we'll come to a work session then, and we can all look at it and, you know.
Okay. All right. So, as I mentioned, I did go to the Hampton Bay Civic, and they were a very engaged group, and it was a lengthy meeting, lots of questions, but overall, I thought it went well. Yeah. Oh, and Hampton Coffee opened a new location in on Shinnecock Road in Hampton Bays, and they had a ribbon cutting last Sunday, and that seemed to be well attended. And you know, Teresa and Jason are good people, and I know they're going to make it a success. And
It's great.
yeah, West
lot of
Hampton
people-
Rotary had the spaghetti dinner at Baby Moon, and it's always good to support Rotary.
Yes.
They found a new place after Casa Basta.
Yeah, they found a new place, and it was nice at
My
Baby
kids
Moon.
used to work that dinner every year, and they'd come home and it would just be like, go away to the shower.
Yeah. And then the one other thing was a meeting of the Suffolk County supervisors to talk about the waste management. You know, somebody came in and spoke, but it looks like Huntington is doing something about rail, and that supervisor's going to come and talk to us, not us, but that group. And when I find out more about what they're doing, I'll bring it back, and maybe we
Yeah.
take some action
I'd love
too.
to. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love
We
to
gotta,
look
'cause
at
we
that.
have to look at that.
Yeah, I think we really need to be looking at waste management and garbage and
Because we should really look at crushing the glass, because we could, if we take like South Hole glass and maybe do East Hampton, because the machine's really old, so it really doesn't pay for each town to have a good glass crusher. If one town does it, and then all the town can send the glass to here, and then we sell it or use it.
create an IMA.
Yeah, right.
The same thing with the
To work
cardboard.
together.
Work together, and it's just it comes down to money and who has enough manpower, and every town is short of manpower, or people power, and money. So it almost pays to on recycle if all 3 towns can work together.
Mm-hmm.
Riverhead doesn't really recycle too much. They got the contract,
Yeah.
but it saves in trucking, and then the stuff
Yeah.
has to go west.
You know when it's garbage day in Riverhead.
Yeah.
There's garbage cans everywhere.
And it'll save on trucking, and of course for get rid of all the garbage, because glass is one of the heaviest things. If we can keep it here and use it here, it'd be a lot better.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Because there's new glass machines where it makes, you can either make the glass round or rigid, so it could be used in cement and other stuff.
Very good.
Okay, so to be continued.
Yes.
All right, well, if no one has anything else, then I move to go into executive session to discuss personnel, acquisitions, confidential legal advice, and litigation, and then close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.